Hey, fella, here's something.
What you got?
You boys know anything about The Witcher?
Snap, crackle, and quite frankly, pop.
You know, you ask me, Snap Crackle? When I think of Snap and Crackle, I'm going to follow that up with Bob. Yes,
The Witcher is one of those things that, like, in my heart of hearts, I know that I would enjoy, but it's entirely too intimidating as, like, as a media franchise for me to, like... The same thing I had with, like, Metal Gear Solid, where eventually I was like, I have to do that. You know what I mean? It's just like...
Yeah, exactly. You're like, okay, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to, like, work my way through all of it, kind of, like, methodically. Kind of like me with Dune or Discworld or any of these other, like, little reading projects that I have, you know, where I'm slowly reading... you know, all the major Daredevil storylines, just like hundreds and hundreds of issues of Daredevil. And I'm like, I'm just doing it. And it's over a long period of time. But recently I wrapped up such a project on The Witcher. So for anyone that has somehow, you know, not been privy to this in the last, let's say, like 8 years where this stuff really rose to prominence, The Witcher began as a series of short stories written by a Polish author, and I'm going to butcher this. Just like Geralt of Rivia is the butcher of Blaviken, I am the butcher of the Polish author's name, Andrzej Sapkowski. Started as a series of short stories in a literary magazine, quickly kind of became popular, and he wrote 2 short story collections and then 5 like novels that followed in like one big, and what you traditionally think of as like a fantasy series, like one long story told over 5 books. So there's 7, and then he's subsequently written like a book or 2 when the books became very, very popular. The books were then adapted into a series of video games. The video games are very popular in and of themselves. I love to tell the story that when Barack Obama visited Poland, the prime minister gave him a copy of The Witcher 2 on PC. And he was like, well, I don't really know what this is, but it seems cool. Very funny clip. And then the video games are actually sequels to the books. And then there is, of course,
no idea about any of this. I've only known, because I'm a stupid person, I've only known them as like video game. I had no idea.
Yeah, so there's a series of books that are then sequelized in a video game setting, because I guess the only other option was kind of like retelling the books. Yeah. But I think they made a smart choice of sequelizing it if you're like changing mediums and things like that. And then, of course, there was also a very popular Netflix original series called The Witcher. I am here to report on all of these mediums, all of them, baby. I haven't read any of the comics, so if they're good or bad, I have limits. I'm sorry, I haven't read any of the Witcher comic books. But yes, I began this project like I think many people these days. I started with the video game franchise, and everyone said, just start with the third one. And I said, yeah, sure. I'm starting with the first one, baby. And the first one is obtuse and impossible in a way that only Eastern European video games can be. there's all the characters
like it's just very
these
punishing, very bleak.
Yes. A video game that wants to show you that like life is pain, that existence should be punished, and all the character models have these cold, dead-eyed stares. It's like women with the most plunging necklines you've ever seen, and just cold, lifeless shark eyes. Yes, everyone looks haunted with a 1,000-yard stare. Everyone looks like they've seen the horrors of, say, the Balkan War. And the first game, I can't really sit here and like recommend it as a thing to play. But there's so many like weird and interesting nuances in there that I think that you go on so many like bizarre little quests that earnestly make no amount of sense, but like it's a game that's like almost doesn't understand what a video game is or should be. And so there's a scene where like it's a mandatory quest if you want to romance like the primary love interest of the game, where you have to do essentially like a dialogue puzzle with a little old lady who doesn't like men going upstairs to visit the ladies renting their rooms, and like she will box you out, motherfucker. She will get you like dead to rights. It's the most impossible, and it's randomized every time you try to do it. So there's no like cheat to get around it.
Oh my gosh!
You have to charm this old lady.
Absolutely, you have to charm this old lady. That's also a video game where you can have sex with a lot of people in the game, and you get a little collectible card.
Oh my god!
See, we need to make those.
Oh my god!
We need to collect like fuck trading cards, so that where it has like your likes, your dislikes, your stats. What elements you're strong and weak against.
It sounds like a real thinking man's Leisure Suit Larry.
Exactly. It's like it is to the point in The Witcher 1 where like that is essentially the primary mini game of the game. Like that is like in Witcher 3 there is a card game that exists in the world that you can play like thousands and thousands of times. In The Witcher 1 you are collecting sex cards. Completely optional minigame. The Witcher 2 is essentially like the most Xbox 360 game you've ever fucking played in your entire life. Okay. Just like dark, gritty band running around. And I would just like
kind of gritty.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very po-faced kind of like thing. The first game PC centric. The second game they were like, we got to get this shit on Xbox.
Yeah.
Both of those games
for the console oafs.
For the console oafs, like generally like myself, I enjoy a PC game, but I will always prefer a controller in hand.
Oh yeah.
And those games are also not particularly good adaptations of the books. I don't think they understand what was good about them. I don't think they understand the character relationships that are core to the books and are honestly like completely mystifying. If you have read the books, you'd think, because they're sequels, like reading the books would make them make more sense. It's not true. If you read all the books, you'll be like, now just what the fuck are they thinking here? Because like, you know, the books are essentially like a love story between a witcher and a witch, and a platonic love story between like a witcher and the ward that he has taken in to protect from like the forces of destiny. And the games don't mention either of those two characters for 2 entire games.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Just doesn't come. It'd be like if you were playing like a Family Guy game and you played 2 entire Family Guy games and like Lois and Stewie just like don't come up at all for like 2 whole games. Like Marge and Bart just like aren't in this game. You know what I mean? But The Witcher 3 is like very acclaimed, won many awards, is an incredibly popular game to this day, is the reason why the Netflix series happened. And if you buy the copies of the book series that I own, all have like random art from the video game franchise on the front that has just nothing to do with the concept of the book. It's just like video game promotional art. There's one.
You know how they do, like, you know how they completely change the publishing for, like, a fantasy book when it gets made into a movie or TV show?
Right, you can buy a copy of iRobot, the book, with Will Smith on the front. Yeah, exactly. But, like, this is, like, there's a Witcher book with a dragon cover on the front, but that's not the Witcher book with a dragon in it. That book has a different video game art that does not have the dragon on it. It's just, like, they did not put an ounce of
they did not think about this at all.
It's really good. It's very funny.
That's like doing the promotional art for Lord of the Rings, but, like, Gollum's on the first book.
Exactly, Justin. That is the perfect way to describe and think about this. Yeah, exactly. It's like if you bought, you know, a Simpsons DVD season 1 DVD set, and they had like Mole Man on there, and you're like, Mole Man doesn't come around in this scene. Why did you put him on the cover? Yes. So, but Witcher 3 is won a ton of awards as a huge, open, kind of like beautiful RPG with like, and the main story is sort of whatever, but there's so many dense, interesting side quests that are full of like thorny moral situations or how one should truly handle like the ghouls of this village. The ghouls didn't do anything wrong, but the ghouls and people, they can't exist in the same place, and like, how are you gonna find a solution to this problem? The Witcher 3 is a game that I played 2 times in quarantine because it's a game about running around outside, big open outside spaces, and I couldn't go out there.
Spaces.
I couldn't go outside, spaces. But I could go to Rivia. I could go to the far off lands of The Witcher. I could play card games in person. I could play Gwent, the collectible card game that exists within the universe of Witcher 3, and all the cards are characters from the game The Witcher, and it, again, never comes up like, okay, what is the internal logic of this? Why am I playing a card with myself on it?
Self-insert... Okay, again, that's also something we should make real. Self-insert Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you play the people you
Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's me and my friends.
Yeah.
Instead of Dark Magician Girl,
it's Like, you just do like my accountant.
Yeah, it's my local thought. Yeah,
exactly. My local thought.
Right. Blue eyes, white Karen.
Yes, exactly. But no one needs me to tell them about The Witcher 3, the video game. It's a very popular and acclaimed video game, and you can buy it on most major consoles. But the books proved to be the most interesting sort of part of this exploration. Because there are fucking 7 of them, and a 7-book fantasy series, is an undertaking.
That's an investment.
And I spent about a couple years reading them sort of on and off. You know what I mean? Like, I'd read a Witcher book, I'd read a couple other books, and it's like, all right, time to go back to the Strand. Let's get another one. Let's go back, baby.
It's Witcher time, baby.
It's Witcher time, baby. Yeah, and so for anyone who is not aware, the titular Witcher is Geralt of Rivia, who is a monster hunter within the world. The monster hunters in this world are sort of mutated to just give them like better sight, better reflexes, etc. And it makes them sort of ostracized within society. They exist in this weird place where, like, obviously if you got a monster, you need a Witcher, but everyone's like, ugh, these fucking guys. There's so many Witchers on the path. The path is what it's called when you leave your little Witcher monastery and go out in the world and hunt monsters. There's a lot of Witchers who take advantage of people and don't actually do the monster hunting that they're supposed to do, and it gives Witchers an incredibly bad name. And there's this rumor within the world that is demonstrably not true, that Witchers don't feel feelings. Obviously they feel feelings. Like, the whole book is about like a man in love, you know what I mean? but it's kind of a rumor that, gets started because these are kind of like mutants with big swords who are like walking around everywhere, but also like the Witchers kind of enhance this theory as well. As it's kind of like a big selling point for them, these like unfeeling monster hunters. It's like a good look for them if everyone thinks they don't have feelings in this weird sort of way. And I really like a fictional world that bothers to build out people in the world not understanding their own world. In the way that, like, in our life, people also don't understand the world that they live in and believe weird and strange things that are not true. And I like that sense of world building that we're really fleshing this out. Mm-hmm. And the first book is a really good collection of short stories. It's very interesting, and the Netflix show adapts pieces of all of this. The Netflix show really like takes it kind of in its own direction, which is ultimately for the best. I don't think religiously adapting these texts would make for a particularly good TV show.
Yeah.
They kind of take it and they do a little Xena and they do a little Game of Thrones, and I think those are the right spices to add if you're trying to turn this into like a television show. Although the best format for a Witcher television show would be like a Xena, a 22-episode syndicated, like, fighting guys in rubber suits. Like, I think it's better suited to that than, like, prestige, every episode is 65 minutes, Netflix kind of deal. But we don't make shows like Xena anymore, and we're all the worse for it, to be quite honest with you. We don't make any more X-Files anymore, and I think The Witcher would be a good X-Files. He goes to a town, there's a monster, he's trying to figure out what monster it is. Anyway, there's another book of short stories, and then they make the transition to making these like long epic fantasy novels. This is where the Ward character comes in, named Ciri, and like that sort of shepherding begins, and this the mutation process for Witchers makes them sterile, so Geralt cannot have children of his own.
Okay.
Nor can his witch girlfriend, because the process of like metamorphose there again sort of sterilizes you, and so they sort of become the surrogate parents of this young child on the run from destiny and monsters and kingdoms, and it's a really just like touching, untraditional family tale. Now, I will warn you, the first Witcher novel is bad. It sucks. It's like Andre did not know how to transition from short stories to long form fiction. That is a boring as hell book, but the books progress and he gets like really good really quick. There's this sort of status quo that is reached like halfway through the series where Geralt is traveling with this like set of traveling companions, and he has like a bard, he has a sexy Italian vampire, he has a woman raised by like the elf nymphs of the woods, he has like a knight who has betrayed the evil kingdom, used to be in pursuit of Ciri, is no longer, as they're all on this quest to like save her. And I just fell so in love with this traveling party. I fell so in love with this like group of people and the moral instances that they encountered on their journeys and these little stories that they encounter, because that's like the real, there's these big overarching fantasy stories, but like the stuff that makes this really good are these like little incidents, these little episodic understandings. Your traveling party encounters like someone who's gonna get burned at the stake, and it's like you decide to intervene and try and figure out like where everybody stands, what happened, these long series of events. And I just think the series builds to such a like wonderful emotional peak, and I'm just really I think about that last book that I read months and months ago all the time, and like the feelings that I'm sitting with in that, and the nice like resolution of that, or the lack of resolution in some points. I don't want to say too much about everything that happens in the books, but like sometimes, as it's hard for you to get like, even in reading all, when I read Dune, I've read 3 Dune books and I find them interesting, and they get more and more interesting as they go along, but I'm not emotionally wrapped up in them in the same way. Like if something happened to Aaliyah, I don't think I would ever be in like risk of tears. But there's stuff that happens late in the Witcher franchise that I don't know. I think about it. If I'm lying in bed and I'm not ready to like shut my eyes and fall asleep, sometimes my thoughts wander to that emotional state. And I don't know, it's beautiful. I've been talking a lot. I guess that's the point of the show.
It's all it's great. I'm just happy to hear about something that you enjoy, but also it's great for me because it's been a thing where I've heard so much for so long about Witcher 3, and I hear that's like one of the best video games ever made, and it's a thing where it's like I have that thing in me. I've got that dog in me, where it's just like. Where I was like, well, I can't just pick up Witcher 3. I have to have to play the other one. And knowing that if I put on the first Witcher game, I would be behind because they're sequels. Like it freed up a lot of just like, oh, I could just like put on Witcher 3.
Yes, you absolutely could. I think because the Witcher 1 and 2 are bad prequels to Witcher 3. They don't set up any of the major emotional beats of The Witcher 3. If you were going to pick up The Witcher 3, I will just give you like a brief summary of things that you need to know, and you could be off on your way.
Or tell us which books we need to read.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But also, Kevin, your something reminded me of one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life, which is when Pope Francis met with some like people from all over the world, and one of the people that he met with was MatPat, who runs the Game Theory YouTube channel.
It's just a theory.
And MatPat gave the fucking Pope, the leader of the Catholic Church, a copy of Undertale.
Yeah.
And you picture the Pope sitting there as like a skeleton in a hoodie, goes like
so like someone like a leader of one country giving Barack Obama a copy of like The Witcher 2 on PC. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's not excusing MatPat's actions. That's still actions of a deranged. That's still like deranged behavior. But thank you for reminding me of the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
No, it's very funny. It's one of those two instances are two of the funniest things I've ever thought about in my entire life. And I loved thinking about them because that's very funny. Yes, absolutely. Anyway, The Witcher is something I've just come to love. I'm almost kind of sad to be at the end of the adventure. You know, there's nothing really more. You know, I kind of fell off the Netflix series because like Henry Cavill's leaving, and I think it's a good show, but there's limited time on this earth, and I'm like, well, not interested once the Hemsworth child takes over. So
the dread Hemsworth youth.
But it's like, it's not even like the main Hemsworth. It's like the benchwarmer Hemsworth. It's the great value Hemsworth. So I'm not
Hemsworth.
A real RC Cola Hemsworth. So I'm just not. I think I'm done. I think I'm good. I think I'm okay. But I don't know. It's a worthy world if someone cares to explore it. Yeah, check it out.
I think I just might.
Hey, he's got a big sword, and he talks like this.
Well, that's all I need to know.
But he's not It's kind of Geralt is kind of the perfect character because he is both like a really richly drawn, dense, layered sort of person that you can really like sink your reader's teeth into, and he is also like a 13-year-old's first D&D character who's just like a cool badass man who kills monsters.
Oh gosh.
And
okay.
I think that's
also
beautiful. Because who is the monster and who is the man? I'm always asking this. Who are the real monsters? Is it the knoll outside the village, or is it the people in the village? This is something you got to think about. These are the questions that The Witcher will make you ask. You go to The Witcher 3 and you're like, what do I do with this haunted horse? What am I supposed to do with this ghost horse? Do I let it go? Do I let it stay? I don't know. And I think there's something cool. I'm sorry, I will stop at a certain point. But there's something cool throughout the Witcher franchise, particularly Witcher 3 the game and some of the books, that like they just leave a lot of dangling plot threads up to the imagination. And not in a way that feels sloppy, but in a way that makes you go like, I wonder what did happen with that. Like, what path did that take? You know, that monster that I set free.
Gotcha. So it's not like they were lazy and they forgot something, but it's just like they give you just enough of a...
They give you enough that, like, you, the reader or the player, are supposed to sit there and, like, kind of think on it and kind of, like, chew on it and be like, that is interesting. Like, what is... And, you know, and it's not a world of easy moral choices. It's not, like, one of those, you know, a video game where you choose the blue choice or the red choice. Usually, like, both choices are purple.
Shadow or a bad shadow?
Exactly. Shadow the Hedgehog. Do you kill the president or do you get all the Chaos Emeralds, right? It's like, it's one of those. It's both the choices are purple, and it's just like, which purple choice sits with you better? And I really like that, and I think that's much more interesting. I think that's much more powerful.
Yeah.
And leaves a lot more room for role play in a role-playing game.
Holy shit.
Fascinating.
They
allow that?
Anyway,
fascinating.
That's The Witcher, and it's legal.
Do they allow that?
They allow that? They fly now?
They fly now?
Oh, Kevin, I hate to inform you. They fly now.
No!
They fly now.
No! The dead speak? Next, you're going to tell me that the dead speak.
The dead speak! The dead speak! I forgot about the dead speak. Oh
next,
my God.
Next, you're gonna tell me that the Emperor Palpatine was a downloadable event in the game Fortnite that directly set up the Rise of Skywalker. Next, you're gonna tell me that.
Oh no!
That would be crazy if you said that. That would be crazy if you said that.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. The Emperor Palpatine coming back was revealed in the video game Fortnite.
The Portable Knight.
Now I know.
Here's something.
There was something.
That was something.